Over the next 4 days, I'm going to be sailing from Lombok to Flores. Across the way, we're going to explore remote islands, climb waterfalls, snorkel, and hopefully see one of Indonesia's most unique inhabitants, the Komodo dragon. I've booked a 4-day, 3-night cruise with Wanua Adventures for 2.3 million rupiah. From Gili T, I caught the public ferry to Bangsal Harbour, where they picked me up and we bussed to the office in Mataram. After a bit of waiting around, we took a 2-hour bus from Mataram to the East Harbour of Lombok, where our boats were waiting. That afternoon, we set sail and started getting to know the people who we were going to spend the next 4 days with. That evening, we were meant to watch the sunset on Kanawa Island, but because of all the stuffing around in Mataram, we just missed it.
It's called Kanawa Islands. It's like in Sumbawa near Lombok.
Everyone ran up the hill to make the most of the remaining light and to check out the beautiful silhouette of Mount Rinjani in the distance before heading back on the boat. Alright, so this is going to be our home for the next 3 days. The boats here have a couple of cabins, but most people sleep on the deck. They have a mattress and a pillow and give you a blanket, and it's actually pretty comfortable as far as sleeping on a boat goes. Alright, how did you sleep?
Not so great.
In the morning, we woke up and found ourselves at Moyo Island. Here, we were going to explore and climb up a nearby waterfall. After brekkie, we've stopped off here at Moyo Island. We're going to explore a waterfall about 10 meters in height. The only problem is there's over 100 people here, so it kind of feels a bit like a school camp. The waterfall was pretty spectacular. You could actually climb up, the rocks weren't slippery at all, and up the top there were hidden pools that you could chill in. Unfortunately, after the death of my GoPro, I had nothing to film this on. After exploring the waterfalls, we hit the ocean and went snorkeling. The water was warm and crystal clear here, absolutely stunning. After snorkeling, it was going to be a long, grueling 18-hour boat ride to Manta Point in Flores. Luckily, I had Gino and Marula from Argentina teach me a cool game with South American cards. Everyone just chilled on the roof of the boat, watching the sun set over the horizon. The footage is kind of shit though, because the boat was super rocky at this point. Good vibes were flowing and the sunset was absolutely spectacular. After dinner, everyone hung out under the moonlight before hitting the sack, ready for a big day tomorrow. Manta rays was one of the things I wanted to see most while I've been in Indonesia. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to go to Nusa Penida, where apparently there are heaps of them. I think Nusa Penida is the best place to see them, because when we went to Manta Point, there wasn't really too many mantas around. Also, there were 5 or 6 boats all trying to find manta rays at once, so once they spotted one, about 50 people jumped in the water and tried to swim to the manta ray. I was pretty lucky though, because I had fins and everyone else didn't, so I was able to get to the front and get some private time with the manta rays with only a few other people. Manta rays can reach up to 7 meters in length and inhabit the tropical waters around Indonesia, Thailand, Spain and the Caribbean. They can be distinguished from stingrays by their 2 protruding eyes at the front of their face, and unlike stingrays, they can't sting you. Altogether, I saw 4 manta rays here. They're swimming at about 8 meters below the ocean, so the view isn't too great if you're just snorkeling. I think it would be much better to actually dive and get to see the manta rays. I wasn't too sure of the ethics behind this Manta Point, because there was over 100 people here all trying to look at the manta rays, and I felt like maybe they should have just been left in peace. This is one of the downsides of doing a cheaper tour option. The company said that they normally run 2 boats in high season, but this date was particularly popular, so they decided to run the 3, and that made things like the waterfall and the Manta Point particularly crowded. Next, we drove about 1 hour to reach Komodo Island in Komodo National Park. This was the first opportunity to see one of the Komodo dragons.
I wish you welcome. Now we are in Komodo National Park, and in this island beside Komodo, also we have the other wild animal. We have buffaloes, deers, wild boars, we have many birds, and also we have many snakes.
Komodo dragons can only be found in this region of Indonesia. They're not present anywhere else in the world. They migrated from Australia. However, when the oceans rose, they got stuck on about 4 or 5 islands in this area. The first island we're going to visit is called Komodo. Here, around 1,300 Komodo dragons inhabit this island. Komodo dragons can grow up to 4 to 5 meters long and can live for up to 50 years. They have an extremely toxic bacteria in their saliva, so when they hunt, they first disguise themselves in the bushes waiting to ambush their prey. They'll then bite the prey and wait 4 or 5 days for the toxic saliva to kill the prey before eating it. According to the guides, if you're bitten, you need to go to the hospital in Flores where they have an anti-serum for the bacteria. It was pretty surreal being around creatures so dangerous in such close vicinity of you. Our final stop for the day was Pink Beach. After being absolutely blown away by the Komodo dragons, I didn't think the day would get any better. However, when we got to Pink Beach, the snorkelling there was incredible. The reefs were all alive and full of amazing fish. I have to say, this is probably my favourite snorkelling spot so far in Indonesia. After dinner that night, everyone got on the roof of the boat to appreciate the amazing sunset. Today was probably one of the favourite days of my trip so far here in Indonesia. It was absolutely spectacular. Manta rays, Komodo dragons, snorkelling, moonlight. It honestly couldn't have been better. This was our last night on the boat, so all of us set up a party with music and lights. It was awesome. On our final morning, we were awoken at 5 AM next to Padar Island to view the sunrise here. After getting dropped at Padar Island, I ran up the hill to try and get a good spot to view the sunrise and set up an awesome time lapse here. The sunrise was absolutely incredible. Although there was lots of people there was plenty of space to sit and view and enjoy it. Padar Island is probably the most picturesque place I've seen in Indonesia and has a kind of prehistoric Jurassic Park feel to it. Unfortunately, a local Indonesian Instagram celebrity was there, and so was her professional videographers who were flying drones everywhere, and it really ruined the atmosphere. They also took some really fake scenes from the mountain of them climbing up the mountain, even though the mountain wasn't that steep, falling over, and also reacting to the sunrise.
One dab.
So a few of us put on our best acting face and tried to recreate the scenes. After Padar, we headed to Rinca Island, which was the second place we were going to see Komodo dragons.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Komodo National Park, especially Rinca Island.
After the early wake up, I was pretty tired and not super enthusiastic to walk around an island that smelt like Komodo shit. However, all my negativity suddenly disappeared once we came face to face with the dragons. There were more Komodos here on Rinca than on Komodo, and it was a little scary as at one point we were pretty much surrounded by them. There was also some big ass water buffalo hanging out, along with some crazy monkeys fighting in a tree.
No, the monkeys are fighting. Yeah.
After seeing the dragons, we hiked up a hill to get a nice view of the island. Our final stop on the cruise was Keller Island. Here we were meant to snorkel, but the snorkeling here honestly wasn't too good. A lot of the coral was already dead. So instead, we just enjoyed the last few hours we had on the boat here. I filmed some of the guys doing some gainers off the edge of the boat, which is pretty much just a running backflip. Safe to say, everyone was sending it and doing some gnarly jumps.
I'm about to attempt a gainer flip.
And what is a gainer flip?
It's where you're running forwards but flipping backwards.
Did you send it, Max?
I sent it, yeah.
I even had a go at my first backflip ever.
Okay.
Alright, this is my first ever backflip, ever.
Take your time.
Nobody's watching. Look at this.
Whoa!
How was it?
Not too shabby, man.
Really good.
Yeah! Woo!
Yes.
Best thing about this cruise has been the people on it. I met some awesome guys from all around the world and everyone got on so well. I absolutely love this cruise. It was an amazing 4 days and easily the best thing I've done here in Indonesia. The facilities on the boat were also pretty good. We had 2 toilets and 2 showers with fresh water. Most of the food was vegetarian with occasional fish and chicken thrown in. They always gave us plenty of fresh fruit and the food was actually pretty good considering it was cooked on a boat. Sadly, this is the end of my time here in Indonesia and I spent the last 6 nights chilling in Uluwatu and shooting some awesome footage on Bingan Beach. It's been an incredible 2 months here. I've made some awesome friends, increased my spice tolerance and hopefully improved my surfing. My total spend for 56 days here was 1,864 Australian dollars. Now I'm going to head back to Melbourne for a few days, pack up my stuff and see you guys in Rio for what will hopefully be the start of a trip of a lifetime.